Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome along to Neeks Sports. We're live. Arsenal nil, Palace nil. Dire, dire, dire game. But we're here. We're in. Let's get into it, man. Let's dissect what was a dreadful, dreadful. So yeah, man. It was a struggle. Let's be honest. It was a real struggle. A lot of poor performances from a lot of players, not just Arsenal. It was Palace players. It felt like no one really wanted to go for it. No one really wanted to go for the win. And yeah, we just didn't really. We didn't want the win. We didn't want the 3 points, man, as we should have really. So yeah, it's partly Arteta's fault. Yeah, partly the board's fault. Yeah, partly the players on the pitch. Definitely can't get blame tonight. They can't go without any negativity laid onto them because they were poor. So yeah, get in the comments. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of the lineup. First thing I want to say really is Tierney and Murray both played 120 minutes against Newcastle, and I tweeted this at the start of the game. I said, look, if we play them, if they don't play in this game, which they didn't obviously, then there's problems need to be looked at, because why did they play 120 minutes in the FA Cup? Obviously, no one knew it was going to go 120 minutes, but you've placed someone in the FA Cup, you risk the chance of it going to penalties or to extra time, and we didn't, factor that in. And there were other players, obviously Aubameyang played as well, but it was unnecessary. I remember watching at the time saying it was unnecessary, but the reality is, it comes back to haunt us. It comes back to haunt us when we struggle, when we play bad, and you look at the things that you're missing. And today, we missed something going down the left hand side a lot. So we missed a lot of activity going down the side with this. We missed a lot everywhere really. But when you have someone like Kieran Tierney, who's been brilliant for the past 3 weeks, and then he comes outside, there's something missing there. And this is why we can't rely on the young kids all the time. Yes, it got us through a couple of bad patches, cool. But I hope this is a message to the board to say, look, the reality is there's more that needs to come into this side before January finishes. Yeah, Shane. Yeah, no, credit to Palace in the end, kind of, I guess. Like, they played well first half. They had more chances. They created a couple of chances. Could have scored with a header that hit the bar. Could have scored with a couple of headers, really. But in the second half, they kind of sat back and wanted the point, which I've got no problem with at all. And they got what they deserved. They defended well. They didn't really attack us. Leno didn't have much to do in the second half. Made a good save in the first half. Really kept us in the game. But yeah, we shouldn't have really let them even come that close to our goal. But yeah, I have to credit them for coming and getting a point, away from home. Never an easy thing to do in the Premier League. Surprised that Gabriel didn't start. I'm not that surprised because he's only just come back from having COVID. So we don't know what the long-term effects are. We don't know what the short-term effects are for him. So I actually predicted my lineup and I didn't have him in. I thought Mari would play today, but obviously he picked up an injury. So yeah, I wouldn't have expected Gabriel to come straight into the starting lineup. Maybe we then see him next week against Newcastle on Monday. But yeah, he didn't get a run out at all. Shay said Arsenal shouldn't be relying on Saka, Smith-Rowe, and Tierney definitely missed. Yeah, there's a problem. As I said, they'll get us up to a certain level. They'll get us up to a certain level, but to go across the line to get further on, I just feel like we struggle and we need a little bit more in the middle of the park today. And you can't always get that with the kids. Sometimes it comes to a halt. Dupe says that Arsenal are done out here. Listen, man, I mean, we got problems. We got big problems, and we know that. You know, we're aware of that, and that's why January is a big month for us. Again, not just to clear out, but to bring in, and we need some creativity coming into the midfield. The reality is we're a mid-table team for a reason, and we played and got a point against another mid-table team for another reason, for the same reasons, that we're just as bad or as good as Palace are at the moment. So, you know, the reality is, you know, we're not at our best at the moment. We're far from our best. And maybe the 3 wins in a row took his toll on us today. I think, is it no one's gone 4 wins in a row? Premier League wins. Something like that, anyway. Shane said Pepe was very quiet when he came on. Listen, Pepe's always quiet these days, man. I mean, this isn't a guy really trying to play for a first team spot. He can't be. Like, he can't be trying to prove to me that he wants to start the games, because when he does play, he's poor. He's very, very poor. So I can't say Pepe needs to start every game, because when he comes on, he doesn't really do nothing to change the game. There have been times like Sheffield United, but how many times are going to refer to 1 or 2 games the whole season? He needs to step up his game a lot, man. And if the kids ain't going to push him to step up his game, I have no idea what is. I have no idea what is. Dupe says your midfield is dry. Y'all need a playmaker. Definitely. You know, a number 10 in the middle of the park is clearly what we need. Someone that's going to create. I mentioned in the podcast this week that I would love to have a Julian Brandt in the middle of the park. Someone that maybe can play wide, but also can play at number 10. Apparently unhappy at Dortmund. I'd love to bring someone like him. There's obviously the talks looks like it's heading towards a Buendia. So we'll see what happens with that. I wouldn't mind Buendia, but I'm just a bit like, is that going to be enough for us? I don't know. But he's a good player. Buendia is a good player. Brandt, I think, is just that next level. So I would personally like to go for him. But it's there for you to all see. It's there for you to all see. We need a playmaker. We need a man like that in the squad. Shane says young players will be inconsistent. They will. Young players will be inconsistent. That's a fact. And they won't be able to get us to that same level time and time again. And this is where we are. This is the state that we're in right now. This is the state that we're in right now. Dupe says Man City got 4 wins in a row. They did. Yeah. And they're yeah. Oh, yes. In reply to what I said. Yeah. I think they did. Yeah. So they eked out their 4 wins, I think, like 1-0s and that. But not a lot of teams can. Maybe that's the only team that's done it. So in the Premier League this year, with COVID and all that, getting those runs. The problem is that we're coming into maybe a bit of a tough run at the end of January. So, you know, we need to pick up again and get 3 points against Newcastle to get us back into winning ways before big fixtures start to turn and it gets a bit tough. I thought this was actually going to be a win today, but obviously it wasn't to be. I'll be surprised if we bring anyone in January. It looks like you're looking to sell. Yeah, I mean, we want to sell to buy, I think, or at least to loan. You know, Arteta said the main aim is to trim the squad. But if you trim the squad, you've got to be able to bring people into it. I think he knows that. Him and Edu know that there are problems there. So I think they will hopefully bring to, you know, swap in. And, you know, the main thing will be Ozil for me. If Ozil goes, I feel like we can get in maybe someone else in that position, like a Buendia to fill in, even though he's not in the squad. But just to get him off the books, and we may be able to replace him. Where were Aubameyang and Lacazette today? I don't know. You lot tell me. Lacazette and Aubameyang, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Missing the whole game, both of them. You know, if anything, I've got more criticism for Aubameyang, because it's been like that for the majority of the season for him, really. Whether it's out wide, whether it's on the right, whether it's in the middle, he's been lost. And Lacazette, you know, he's been in good form, so I'll let him off, you know, this week. But he was poor. So it'll be interesting to see what Arteta does going forward into next week. Does he go with maybe an Nketiah? Does Martinelli come back in? I know he's been injured last week, but yeah, it looked dead today. It looked dead out there. Yeah, no one's got 5 games in a row. There was only 4. I'm not a Draxler fan, really. I don't really want him. I feel like that will be a one where the contract's running down. We've just seen that it's running down, and we'll take him. I mean, yes, he adds quality, but like, I don't want that to be the next go-to guy. Like, if it was a loan to the end of the season, maybe. But I mean, how many times have we done these loans? The Denis Suarez and all this, and it just doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. So for me, I don't want Jack Love personally. Who are the realistic signs you want for Arsenal? Yeah, for me, Julian Brandt is my main one. That's my number one target. I would love a Basuma person. I would love a Basuma in there in the midfield just to break things up. I doubt that will happen in January. That may be a summer signing or someone of that ilk to come in alongside Partey. That he would be a player that I want. And around the squad, a new right back. I feel like we need. I'm not sure whether Bellerin's that guy. I'm not sure if Bellerin's that guy anymore, man. And potentially another backup goalkeeper. But these are all things that may, or more likely may not happen. I'm not necessarily either in or out. Like I'm supporting the club. I'm supporting the team. I'm not screaming for Arteta to go. I'm not screaming for him to stay. I just want to see what happens this season. Like, we've had a bad start to the season, and we've had games like this before. I want to see I want to see him bring more of the players that he wants into the club. Like the likes of Mari, the likes of Gabriel, the likes of Partey have been good additions. There's been obviously the Cedric and the Willian signings which haven't worked out as well. But Cedric was always going to be a backup player, and Willian, fair enough, it hasn't worked out. But I like some of the signings that he's brought in. So if he can bring in another couple more of the players that he wants, it may be able to get the style of football playing that he wants. I don't think his style was really working on a consistent basis with the squad that we have here at the club. I think we should give Balogun a chance to try something different, but wouldn't want to put too much pressure. Listen, Balogun's an interesting one because obviously he hasn't made the bench this week. He didn't make the bench last week in the FA Cup. There are apparently 15 clubs that want to sign him. I think he's gone. I honestly think he's gone. I think that's why he's not playing. I think he wanted a certain amount of assurance of playing time, and we couldn't necessarily give him that with the squad that we've got at the moment. So I think he will go. It's a shame because he's a good player, and I'd probably like to see him given a chance. And if he was to stay, he could have a big say in our squad to the end of the season. But the likelihood now is that he's going to sign abroad on a Bosman to another club. So it's a shame. It's a shame, but I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of him. 100%. This is what I was saying all game. We're missing Tierney. We're missing the creativity from the left. I can't blame it all on that, but a lot of your attack has come from that side and has come from that player, individual. When he goes out, there's nothing there. Maitland-Niles, he just ain't the same as Tierney. He ain't got that. I don't know. I don't even know if he's really a fullback. What is Maitland-Niles? Is he a centre back? Is he a right back? Is he a left back? I don't know, man. It was a poor game for Maitland-Niles today, 100%. And I think Arteta may regret not playing Maitland-Niles in the cut and Tierney here today. And Cuckoo being linked with us. Yeah, it'd be tough. I don't see that happening. I think that's an unlikely one. He's a good young player. I think we were linked with him before he left. Was it PSG? Was it? I can't remember where he was at before, but I think we linked with him before, and that didn't come off. So I'd be surprised if we go back into him now. But he is a good player. I do like him. And of course, Sabitzer and Brandt, good players who we can build off. Shane Ollie out. This guy loves screaming Eddie out, Ollie out. Not here, but I don't care. Ollie can go. Ollie can go. Ollie can stay. I don't care, man. Adam Talksports loves to call Ollie out. Crystal Palace, Nate. Those two missed chances in the first half really killed us. Still a point away at Arsenal, and a clean sheet ain't all bad. Yeah, definitely. I think Crystal Palace fans will understand that it's a game where you probably take a point away at Arsenal. But if you take your opportunities, you get 3 points. And, there are 2 chances in the game that when you look back, you think, could we have done better? Maybe the header, maybe not. Obviously, he's unlucky, came off the bar. Leno made a great save as well. So it's difficult to say whether you should have taken a point. They're probably the 2 best chances of the game, to be fair. Andre Ayew maybe could have done better with his composure towards the end. But, I think Palace will definitely be the happier of the teams. But at the same time, it's our first clean sheet since the start of the season at the Emirates. So we'll take the clean sheet, but yeah, the attacking prowess needs to improve a lot, man. Needs to improve a lot. Dupe says that you guys need a leader to motivate you to winning games. Yeah, I agree. There's not enough out there on the pitch. You can never have enough. I think David Luiz is a leader, but sometimes doesn't always get the best out of everyone. There are leadership qualities in the likes of Xhaka and Kieran Tierney as well. Obviously, he wasn't out there today. I think Gabriel is a natural born leader as well, to be fair. And sometimes he gets us through. But yeah, there was a lack of someone to really push us on, and I agree with that. The likes of the Patrick Vieiras of this world, Tony Adams might just been able to just get a 10% extra out of us and maybe get the 3 points. It never looked like, honestly, that we were going to score in that game. And as the subs came on, it looked like it was dwindling even more and more. Pepe, no impact off the bench. Nketiah barely got a touch on the ball. Partey got a run out, which is good. A good 20 minutes in his legs. We're not expecting miracles from him yet, but it's good to see him getting back in. We really need him to be playing on a consistent basis going forward. So yeah, definitely Partey. So these are the next 10. These are the next 10 games. Newcastle at home, Southampton away, Man United at home, Wolves away, City at home, Leicester away, Burnley away, Spurs at home, West Ham away, and Liverpool at home. So there's a mixed run there. I think we, after playing Newcastle last week and seeing how bad they were, we've got to be going into that with a bit of confidence. I know they've had they didn't have a rest. They played Sheffield United, lost to Sheffield United this week. Yeah, so I think we can go there with confidence to try and get something. We've got the double header against Southampton. Well, potential double header, but depending on whether they get through in the FA Cup. Tough game. Could be a tough game. And then, of course, Man United, Wolves, City, Leicester. Not easy at all. Not easy at all. And then Burnley, Spurs, West Ham, Liverpool. Listen, no easy game in the Prem. But we've got to pick up the wins from now. We want to go into that Man United game. If we can beat Newcastle and Southampton going into that Man United game after the back of Chelsea win, West Brom win, Brighton win, FA Cup win, and a point today, it's not too bad. Unbeaten. We didn't lose today. Maybe a few months ago we would have lost this game today. So fixtures are up and down. We just need. I think we need to get into form. We need to hopefully get a couple of wins on our belt before we go into the Man United game at the end of January. So yeah, some tough fixtures over there. Shane Fix, Maitland-Niles should be starting over Bellerin. I'm not convinced. He has good games and he has poor games. Today he was poor. I can't say on today you should start for Bellerin because he was so poor today. So I play Bellerin a bit more, but I'm not necessarily happy with Bellerin. I don't think he's at his best either. But yeah, Maitland-Niles has got a lot more to do for me to nail down a place in this starting lineup. Futsal 90, it's a nightmare next 2 months with Arsenal. I don't think it's a nightmare personally. There's some tough games in there, but they're definitely winnable games in there. Within the mix of that, you got Burnley and you got West Ham. And so I think you need to pick up the points where you can in those games, and then try and get where you want around it. I've seen worse fixtures, put it like that. I've seen a lot worse. We've had a lot worse fixtures than that going into March. Trust me. Adam Talk Sport. I know you're trying to be controversial. I know you love it. Shane says until today you haven't kept a clean sheet at home since a 4-0 against Norwich last season. See. So I'm saying, we've been poor at home defensively this season. So I think maybe the aim was to try and get a clean sheet and then nick a goal if we can. We've been better defensively in the past month, definitely. But yeah, we haven't been getting the clean sheets. I think Martinez had more clean sheets this season at Emirates than Leno did. So, away from home hasn't been too bad, but at home we've been poor. So, yeah, a clean sheet was needed today. Get a bit of confidence in the back four, and then we go again. We go again next week. Yeah, Dupe says Pepe is just trash. Asked me to sell him this season, his second season. Sell him to who? Who wants him? Who actually wants him? Who wants to sign him? I don't know. I'm not convinced he's the man. But who wants to buy him? We bought him for £72 million. So it's easy to say sell him, but do we take a loss? Do we sell him for a 20 mil, 30 mil? He's not necessarily pulling up trees for us to even sell him. So it ain't as easy as that. Shane says if Ollie loses to Arsenal again, that's a sackable offence. Well, you could arguably say it was a sackable offence last time, but it's one of those games where it's like you never know. Arteta's beaten Ollie every game he's played him, hasn't he? He beat him last year and this year. So yeah, maybe it is. But I mean, you lot are top of the league, so you tell me if it's a sackable offence or not. I thought 6-1 was a sackable offence, but he carried on. I thought going at the Champions League with in your hands was a sackable offence as well. But maybe there are no sackable offences anymore. Maybe there are no sackable offences. I feel like the next game against Newcastle was a must-win, considering it's 2 games. Yeah, I do. I think we need. I think today was a win would have been great, but yeah, I think you want to go into that run with a win against Newcastle. I agree with that for sure. I want Winnerson to start again. So I don't really want to see Winnerson. And that was interesting actually. Arteta mentioned about Winnerson, didn't he? Saying that he potentially may need to go out on loan. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I want to just share my prediction. So my prediction today was 2-0 to Arsenal. So I got that wrong. I'll admit that I got that wrong. I thought we would comfortably win today, but we didn't. And this is my. Don't know if you can see that. Didn't make it clear enough. This is my prediction for the season. So I've predicted. So my prediction at this stage is that Arsenal would have. Probably can't see it on there, but Arsenal would have 33 points. Arsenal will have 33 points, and they've got 24. So I'm way off in my predictions of Arsenal against myself. Long way to go, of course, and Arsenal got a lot to do because they've been letting me down a lot. I said 2-0. So I said 2-0. I said so many wins, and we've got disappointing results. So poor today, poor all round really from Arsenal. But we move, man. We move. A lot needs to change when we go to Newcastle next week. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Guys. Thank you all for your comments. If you like this video, just hit the like button on your way out. And if you're new around here, please subscribe to Neeks Sports and share the content. We appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, man. So yeah, this was Arsenal 2, Crystal Palace 0 as my prediction. And I've got, as Dupe said, that prediction is way off because Arsenal dropped points at home against Crystal Palace. It was 0-0. But yeah, thank you all for watching, guys, and I will see you all very